Sound of a gentle, steady heartbeat, which fades after a few seconds. That's the sound of calm. But what happens when you get the email? The one that says your position has been eliminated. Or the call from the mechanic quoting a four-figure repair bill that's more than your car is even worth. Or when you're standing in your kitchen, watching water drip from the ceiling. In that moment, your heartbeat probably isn't so steady. It's a frantic drumbeat of panic, of a single question. What am I going to do? For too many people, the answer involves high-interest credit cards or desperate loans. But there is another way. It's called an emergency fund. And it's not just a savings account, it's a financial shock absorber. It's the difference between a catastrophe and an inconvenience. It's your own personal safety net, woven thread by thread with every dollar you set aside. It's the tool that lets you handle a crisis without derailing your entire life. So let's talk about building one. The first question everyone asks is, how much? The classic advice you'll hear is to save 3 to 6 months worth of essential living expenses. And that's a fantastic goal. But let's be honest, staring at that number can be paralyzing. If your monthly essentials, rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, car payment, add up to, say, $3,000, then a 6-month fund is $18,000. That can feel like being told to climb Mount Everest in your sneakers. So let's reframe it. Don't start with Everest. Start with base camp. Your first goal isn't 6 months of expenses. Your first goal is $1,000. Or even $500. Why? Because recent data shows that around 40% of Americans can't cover an unexpected $400 expense without going into debt. A $1,000 starter fund puts you ahead of the curve. It handles the blown tire, the emergency vet visit, the broken appliance. It builds confidence. It proves you can do this. Once you hit that first milestone, then you can set your sights on the bigger goal. To figure out your number, you need to get brutally honest about your essential expenses. This isn't what you spend in a typical month. This is your bare bones, survival mode budget. Add up your rent or mortgage, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, and minimum debt payments. Exclude subscriptions, dining out, and shopping. Multiply that number by 3, and that's your next target. If you're a freelancer, a gig worker, or in a volatile industry, you'll want to aim higher. Your income has peaks and valleys, so your safety net needs to be wider. Aim for 6 to 9 months, or even more, to ride out the slow periods without stress. Okay, you have your number. How do you actually get there? This is where strategy trumps willpower. First, give your fund a home. This cannot be your regular checking account. It's too easy to spend. You need to open a separate, dedicated savings account. Think of it as a financial fortress. The money goes in, but it doesn't come out unless the castle is truly under siege. Second, and this is the most important step, automate it. Don't wait to see what's left over at the end of the month. We all know the answer is usually nothing. Instead, pay yourself first. Set up an automatic, recurring transfer from your checking account to your new emergency savings account. Make it happen the day you get paid. Even if it's just $25 per paycheck. Start there. The key is consistency. This single action bypasses one of our biggest psychological hurdles, procrastination. It removes the decision-making and turns saving into a non-negotiable habit, just like paying your rent. Third, find the money. Look at your budget and find places to cut back. Maybe it's canceling a streaming service you barely use or brewing coffee at home. Maybe you need swap to a SIM-only phone contract. Then, think about the other side of the equation, increasing your income. Could you pick up a few extra hours, take on a small freelance project, or sell things you no longer need? Funnel every single extra dollar from these efforts directly into your emergency fund. And when you get unexpected money, a tax refund, a bonus from work, a cash gift, resist the urge to spend it. That's a windfall. It's a cheat code for building your fund faster. Send it straight to the fortress. Now, where exactly is this fortress? Where should you keep your money? The ideal location has 3 qualities. It's safe, it's accessible, and it offers some growth. The undisputed champion here is a high-yield savings account. These are typically offered by online banks, and they pay significantly more interest than a traditional brick-and-mortar bank. Your money is safe. It's FSCS insured up to £120,000. It's accessible. You can usually transfer it to your checking account in a day or 2. And while the interest won't make you rich, it will help your savings fight back a little against inflation. A money market account is another great option, very similar to a high-yield savings account. What you want to avoid are places where your money is at risk, like the stock market, or places where it's locked up, like a certificate of deposit or CD. The goal here isn't maximizing returns. It's guaranteeing security and availability. Building this fund is more critical now than ever. Inflation has been a major story, eroding our purchasing power. That 3-month emergency fund you calculated 2 years ago might only cover 2.5 months today. Costs for everything, from car repairs to groceries, have gone up. This means you need to review your target annually. If your expenses have increased by 5%, your savings goal should too. The statistics are sobering. Recent surveys show that nearly a third of Brits have more credit card debt than they have in emergency savings. And more than half of adults don't have enough saved to cover 3 months of expenses. It's a source of massive stress for millions of people. But knowing this isn't about feeling discouraged. It's about understanding the stakes. And it's about recognizing the mental games we play that hold us back. The biggest one is called present bias. Our brains are wired to prefer a small reward right now, like ordering takeout, over a much larger reward in the future, like financial security. We know saving is good for our future self, but our present self just wants the pizza. Automating your savings is the best way to outsmart this bias. You make the good decision once, and the system takes over. Another trick is to make spending harder. Create friction. Unlink your savings from your debit card. Institute a 48-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over £50, and reframe your thinking. You're not losing money when you save it. You are buying something incredibly valuable. Peace of mind. You're investing in your future self's ability to handle a crisis with dignity and calm. Some newer fintech apps try to help with this by automatically rounding up your purchases and saving the spare change. They can be a great way to get started, making saving feel effortless. But be mindful of fees that can eat into your small savings. And remember that roundups alone are rarely enough. They're a good supplement, not a replacement for a dedicated, automated savings plan. Ultimately, building an emergency fund is a journey of 1,000 small steps. It's the decision to say no to one purchase, so you can say yes to your own security. It's the discipline of setting up that automatic transfer. It's the resilience to replenish the fund after you've had to use it. Don't get overwhelmed by the final goal. Just focus on the very next step. Open the account. Schedule the first transfer, even a small one. The single most powerful thing you can do for your financial well-being is to start today. Because the next time you're standing in the kitchen, staring at a leak, the frantic drumbeat of panic can be replaced by a quieter, steadier rhythm. The sound of a problem, not a catastrophe. The sound of knowing that you prepared for this. The sound of being okay. Stay money mad. Subscribe for more financial content designed to help you on your path to wealth.